Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Influence and Growth Mastery. Today's episode, we're going to discuss getting comfortable and being uncomfortable. I'm sure that you've had experiences where you're or have been uncomfortable. As an entrepreneur, it seems like for me, it's been a daily occurrence here lately, especially as I work on my personal brand. As many of you know, I've had a business brand, but now I'm working on my personal brand. Showing up differently for my personal brand has been different than showing up for my business brand. When it's not comfortable, you can hide behind another brand. For example, I also do business with other brands as my clients. I sometimes represent them. And so it's easy for me to hide behind that brand and promote them. So sometimes as I show up as them, I don't have to promote me, which makes that much more comfortable for me. So stepping out and promoting myself sometimes makes me very uneasy. And I'm sure you can relate to that. Why do we do this? I know, great question, right? But why do we do this? We're just not comfortable. Sometimes it may be that it's our self-image. We're afraid that we're going to fail. It's embarrassing. I know sometimes I have a fear that I'm going to forget what I'm going to say. And so oftentimes before I go live, just like I did today, I type out bullet points and I will glance down because it's like, I don't want to forget the bullet points that I want to be sure that I mention when I go live, or when I'm doing a training session, or even when I'm coaching. I want to make it real. I want to make it authentic. And so oftentimes for me, I get embarrassed easy. I feel uneasy. Sometimes as I'm working now on my weight and trying to be healthy, it's like, what are people going to say? What are people going to think? Am I going to get tongue-tied? Is that going to show up on the video? Well, who cares? What does it matter? People aren't going to remember those things anyway. So why do we care? We're human, right? But why does that bother us so much? Why do we care what people think? Is it our mindset? What is mindset anyway? Right? I hear people who are coaching say, if you say you're a mindset coach, half the people out there in the world don't even know what mindset means. But it's our habitual mental attitude that determines how we're going to interpret or respond to certain situations. It's our outlook on something. But the way that we do respond, or our outlook, or our mindset, it is extremely important. It's what carries us through our journey to our destination. And so while all of these things can be important, they're important to me as a presenter. They're not important to the person listening and then receiving the information, but we worry about them anyway. We need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. What matters is the message that we have to bring to the people who are listening. I battle these situations all of the time, daily, as I mentioned to you a while ago, especially when I'm tackling some new thing. Like starting this week, Wednesday, I'm entering into a mastermind with maybe even 100 people. I don't know how many people are going to be there. A mastermind of going into a challenge for podcasting every day through April. And some people don't know how that works, but we post a podcast every day through April. But all of these podcasts, they're recorded. I could record 30 podcasts in one day if I had time to do that. Or I could record them all in just a couple of days. They just go live daily. That doesn't mean I'm doing a live podcast every day and then they get scheduled and go live every day. It's that every day a podcast is going to be uploaded and presented to the world every day. But we put these pressures on ourselves to be uncomfortable. It's not necessary to get uncomfortable. It's just me having a conversation with other people. It's just me. It's just you networking with other people, having a conversation, showing up differently, sometimes showing up the same way we always do. But we have fear of the unknown. We have self-image issues. We have confidence issues. We don't know how to speak. We don't know how to talk. We don't know how to present ourselves. All of these things, when in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. What matters is that we show up anyway, and we present the messages that we have to present. I'm going to show up with all of these people, and I'm going to learn how to be a better podcaster. I'm going to learn all of the tools that I need to learn to help you be better in what you do. How much better can that be? I'm learning to help you be better. I'm learning to help me be better. I'm getting uncomfortable to teach you how to be better at being comfortable with getting uncomfortable. That was a mouthful. Wow. So, I had somebody this weekend tell me, I put a post out on Facebook, a story, and you may have even seen, I'm trying to get better at putting myself out there. It's uncomfortable, but I'm doing it. I'm trying to get comfortable with being uncomfortable even there. And I had somebody share with me, I love your confidence. And I kind of laughed internally when I read that. And I thought, oh, if you only knew, that's very uncomfortable for me. But they said, I love your confidence. And I said, that confidence takes a lot of work. I have to tell myself frequently, I am unstoppable. I am confident. I am powerful. I speak with authority. I am fearless. And I own the stage. I am constantly telling myself that so that I can be comfortable being uncomfortable. And when I do that, before I do anything, I sometimes come across very confident. And people think that I'm confident, although I may be shaking in my bones when I'm doing that thing. And to some people, they may see that I'm a nervous wreck. And to others, they think, wow, she's confident. And I'm glad that they see that. And to others, they see the growth in me because they see me every day and they see she looks nervous, but she's becoming more confident. And that's the same with you. You're going to be doing the same thing. It's a journey, but I have a destination that I am trying to reach. And that destination is big. But I know that if I were comfortable every day, I would not be able to reach that destination that I'm after. And it's only through being uncomfortable that I can get to the next step. So I want to be uncomfortable every day so that I can reach that next step of growth. I don't want to be comfortable every day. Because when I'm comfortable, I'm not growing. Although comfortable feels good, let me say that again, comfortable feels good. But I remember back whenever I was in banking, and when I was comfortable in my job, it was just steady Eddie. I wasn't growing. It was when I was working hard and I was studying and it was a challenge and I was researching and I was plowing through things. I had to know how to do it, where to go next, what to do. Climbing that ladder, the struggle was real. And it was through that struggle of being uncomfortable where the growth came, the stretch came, the rubber band was being pulled as much as it could, was where growth and success came. I oftentimes had to speak to that inner critic, that inner mean girl. I called that inner mean girl Rachel. Rachel, you hear me out. I am doing this no matter how uncomfortable it is. I'm doing it. I'm going through the swamp. I'm crossing the river. I'm doing this because I am unstoppable. I am confident that I've got this. I am confident that I'm coming out on the other side. I am confident that I can build this product. I am confident that I can close 18 out of 23 sales. And I closed 21 out of 23. You see what I'm saying? I spoke to authority over my goal and I did it. But I had to get uncomfortable. I had to learn something that I did not know. And every time that I felt embarrassed, I had to say, I can do this. Every time I make a mistake, I had to say, everybody makes mistakes. But one thing I can tell you is I have not quit, and I refuse to quit, and I refuse to let you quit. I refuse to let you quit. No one is going to remember your mistakes. No one is going to remember what you look like. No one is going to remember that I walked in the rain with no makeup on. No one is going to remember that I made up all of those excuses to my coach for why that day I had not walked until that night when I felt the gut-wrenching stab in my heart that I was making excuses. I was uncomfortable. But I am getting comfortable being uncomfortable, and I want you to get uncomfortable being uncomfortable. My friend, I know that you are capable of doing big things. I know I'm capable of doing big things. And I want you to go out there into the world, and I want you to make yourself uncomfortable. I am your biggest fan, and I cannot wait to hear and to see all of your successes. And the way that I'm going to hear and the way that I'm going to see your successes is I'm giving you an invitation right now to join my free Facebook group called Influence and Growth Mastery. Influence and Growth Mastery. When you have your successes, I want you to share them in that group. I don't care how small they are or how ginormous they are. I want you to share them. Join me now. Bye for now. I'll see you next time. I love you guys. Bye.